So I watched Epic the Musical recently.
Pride is a damsel in distress, hiding away where only I can undress her.
Naturally, I wanted to design some Greek gods and goddesses, so I grabbed some friends and I asked them, hey, do you guys want to redesign some Greek gods and goddesses with me? And they said yes! As for who chose who, I chose Aphrodite, my friend Stingray chose Athena, my friend Poppy chose Persephone and Hades, and finally my friend Sun chose Nyx. So now that I got that out of the way, let's start designing! As you can see, I have my reference on the left and the speed paint on the right. I have a variety of references like Aphrodite herself, her statue, one of the covers from the Epic the Musical songs God Games, her Disney counterpart, and her counterpart from the game This Light. Wanted to do a front and back pose, but I just settled on the front pose. I'll explain why later, but I gave her her motifs like her roses, her pearls, her seashells, and I gave her this very see-through dress since she's quite literally depicted wearing mostly nothing. Drew her a mirror, some doves, and some hearts to complete the scenery. All detail I realized is people depicted her with like more almond shaped eyes, like kind of like cat-like eyes. I don't know why I had the urge to draw her very doe-eyed, but I didn't because obviously this fit her more. Here I'm continuing on with the see-through dress, the little details. I somehow was trying to get her toes right for some odd reason. You can see I'm just doing the background, doing the doves, and I used a very thick line art for the mirror. Also drew her reflection in the mirror, obviously, and I drew the hearts. Here you can see I'm picking out the color, seeing which blonde would fit her, giving her pink streaks in her hair. I couldn't decide on an eye color, so I quite literally chose all of them. I chose brown, blue, and green, and also with a twinge of pink. Here I am coloring her skin. This is always my favorite part. Her rosy lips, rosy eyeshadow, doing her eyes, brown base, blue eyes, a twinge of green, and some pink. Doing her blonde hair. Here's where I realized that the blonde that I chose was a little too light, so I went with my darkest shade that I picked. Here I am just doing the lighting, definition, shadows, absolutely the works. And here I am doing the pink streaks that I decided to do for her hair. I gave her sparkles, and I realized that I didn't really like the vibrancy of the blonde so much, so I desaturated that. And here I am coloring her quite literally see-through dress. I wanted it to look like the statue, look really flowy. I colored in every single pearl, just colored in her roses and the seashells. And here's where I noticed her skin is quite literally pink. I turned up the vibrancy of her skin color and did not notice that I quite literally made her pink. But here I am continuing on with the background, shading in her mirror and her reflection and stuff. Here I am coloring also her hearts and the doves. Gave her shadow and her background, and this is how she turned out. I'm really glad with how this turned out, and honestly the pink skin, even though it was a mistake, it fit her character super duper duper well. Before I continue on with the video, I just wanted to let you guys know that I actually made two versions of Aphrodite. So if you did not know, Aphrodite comes in separate entities. There's the Aphrodite pandemos, I hope I spelled that right. The one that I drew now, which is the common Aphrodite that you see absolutely everywhere. There is Aphrodite urania, I have no idea how to spell that, but she's kind of the more platonic, more heavenly, more celestial Aphrodite, which is the second version that I drew. And there's Aphrodite Araya, which is kind of like Aphrodite's war-loving side. Here's a photo to kind of show that from this one video from Overly Sarcastic Productions. They made a very informative video on Aphrodite if you wanted to go check that out. So here I am working on Aphrodite urania. I need to stop doing this, but I gave her some of the other Aphrodite's motifs, like the rose and the pearl. I gave her a dress with a hem of sea foam based on where Aphrodite originated from, and I gave her some motifs I couldn't put on the other Aphrodite, which is a swan and just the planet Venus for the background. Here I am just going in with the line art, drawing in every single lock, going in with the background with thick line art, and here I am choosing the color scheme. I wanted her to have kind of like an ocean and a cosmic vibe at the same time. I made her dress look like waves, and I wanted her hair to look kind of like the space, kind of like in the photo. Here I am coloring each an individual lock. Added some sparkles, some stars, colored in the pearls, and I brightened up her face just a little bit so you could see the shading because I am very proud of it. And this is how she turned out. As you can see, I designed her very differently from her other more common counterpart. But honestly, I love creative freedom, and even though I can sniff some comments, I choose to not see. I choose to be blind. Thank you very much. And that's my part of Aphrodite. Let's go on to my friends.
But two can play this game.
Nah, don't be modest. I know you're a goddess, so let's be honest. You are Athena. Badass in the arena.
So, hi, I'm Stingray, and I wanted to do Athena because she's just a literal icon. And so, yeah, for her design, I mostly used references I found on Pinterest to some of her statues, mostly, and I also wanted to take a lot of inspiration from the fact she was associated with owls. So I gave her like an owl feathered cape and a little owl companion on her shoulder. Her shield is supposed to be a reference to a certain Greek coin that has an owl on it. Her hat and her spear obviously come from her statue. I found some really cool like golden armor also on Pinterest. For the hair, I just wanted it to be quite simple because obviously she's a very strong fighter, so I didn't want to do anything like too long. So I also decided to make her eyes golden because I thought it was a very powerful colour for her. But yeah, that's basically my design. Hope you like it.
Unfortunately, my friends Poppy and Sun cannot voice over their parts, so I'll be voicing over from here on out. So, Persephone and Hades! So here are Persephone and Hades side by side. The references I've been given are from the webtoon series Underworld, and Lore Olympus. I love how Poppy sketched out Persephone. She's so whimsical, she's so happy, and Hades is just there. But here Poppy is kind of deciding on the color palette, experimenting a bit. But at the end, she chose this beautiful, dark-skinned, light-eyed, and pink-haired Persephone. And for Hades, I've been told that he's intentionally very pale because he quite literally does not see the light of day, which is so real. As you can see, she's just finishing up the backgrounds, and honestly they look so lovely. I love how Persephone is so vibrant, very pre-Hades, and Hades just looks super good here. Next, drawn by my lovely friend Sun. So here's the speed paint, and as you can see for this one we have our references directly next to our sketch. There are statues of Nyx, her paintings, and her dislike counterpart. Here Sun is working on the detailing on Nyx's skirt. It looks really pretty, and oop, there goes any semblance of a top. Unfortunately, I had to censor her drawing, but oh my god, isn't this absolutely gorgeous? And that was it for this video. This was my first ever speed paint video that I have posted, and I'll definitely be making more in the future. I'm so sorry again that my two friends could not voice over. But in any case, go follow my friends. Stingray, Poppy, and Sun did such a lovely job, and I am so glad that they took the opportunity to be in this video. And that was it for this video. Good night, good afternoon, or good morning wherever you are. Love you. Bye.